Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. Want to come and chat on here about attracting wealthy friends or rich friends or friends who are financially comfortable. And yeah, lately I have attracted a lot more wealthier women friends in my life. And, I had to kind of stop and think about why is it working for me now when it didn't work for me before? A few years ago, I had kind of set the intention of kind of getting out of the pro-Black poverty mindset. And I still have some friends and acquaintances from, more of my community building days, where it's more like pro-Black and things like that. But, the struggle mentality that a lot of them had was really pervasive. And it felt like it was hard to get out of poverty mindset, and constantly like not having money and just like even the smallest amount of money would be lamented about. Like it would just be lamented about like, oh, that costs $15. Oh, that's so expensive. You're like, what? Um, and just constantly like just not being stable, like not having stable car, stable phone, stable house and things like that. And I pretty much had things stable, but it was hard. And I realized that in order for me to get out of this situation, I was going to have to get new friends because part of it was even my clientele with my business. I was attracting people who could not afford my services, because they were being referred to me by people who knew me who didn't have any money. So the people who knew me who didn't have any money were referring people to me who also did not have any money. So even just for me to survive, I knew that I was going to have to improve the quality of my network. And so my initial attempts at reaching out to people who I thought had money, in attempts to like socialize, go to brunch, do whatever, it just didn't work. It always fell flat. It never went through. We could never make plans. And I kind of felt like maybe things were done out of order and maybe I was still too entrenched in poverty lifestyle myself, to where it just wasn't working. Um, I'm trying to think. I kind of feel like just in retrospect, all these things came into falling together around the same time. So ship aligned with my internal sort of going deeper into myself and just realizing that I don't have to be destined to have a situation like that. So that was probably what clicked. So before, it's kind of like saying, oh, I want to reach out to wealthier friends, wealthier women so that I can have a better network. So when I do get referrals for my business, the women who come over to my business, they will actually be able to afford my prices and I won't have to discount or turn them away because they don't have any money. Back was still still leading space in my mind and in my heart and in my like my vision of myself of like perhaps getting into another struggle love relationship. But after the last situation, with my child's father was like, no, I see everything that I know to be true about what it takes to raise a family. It's true. And this isn't working. And you cannot inspire a dusty man into greatness. He is going to be dusty no matter what you do. You can be the best homemaker, the best mother, the best lover, the best everything. He will remain dusty, and so understanding that the delusional and the arrogance, I think that, and we can talk about that maybe in a different live, because I do think it's very arrogant to think that you can change the core of who somebody is. Like they weren't, like there's nothing inside of him that's a natural provider, protector. He's naturally dusty. And you think that you're so special that you're going to transform him into being something that he never was going to try to be. It's pretty arrogant, and I had to like look back in retrospect, and I've seen various situations where I've been arrogant walking into very dismal situations thinking that I was going to be the light to brighten it up. And it's like, no, it's always easier for someone to pull you down than to pull somebody up. If somebody's laying in the gutter and you're walking by and you're on your way somewhere, they can just grab your leg and just pull you down into the gutter. But if you're walking by, you see a grown man in the gutter and you try to pick him up, all that dead weight, you won't really be able to do it. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to trip and you're going to fall in the gutter, and you will both be down in the gutter. And that's just my experience in life. Like, nobody needed to tell me that. Nobody needed to spell that out for me. I just experienced that. And that was just my natural conclusion that it's not working. That's not going to work. So I have to find somebody with a good foundation that is able to provide and protect. And I already know the kind of life I want to live. And I'll be damned if I am going to be struggling next to a grown adult man. That will never, ever, ever happen. If I'm going to be struggling, or if I'm going to be, not where I want to be, or living a modest life, I'm going to be doing it by myself. Okay. Not with a grown adult sucking up the air in my damn way. Okay, so there's that. So I think that just like shifting that and understanding um that I want something more in life, that really helped a lot. And then another thing that really attracted uh finally sort of click for me in attracting wealthier friends was like going deeper into myself. Like, this also helped me attract clients to my business. Like, I don't chase clients. To. I used to chase clients. I used to call them back every week, like, "Hey, are you ready to sign up? Hey, are you ready to sign up? Hey, are you ready to sign up?" I don't really do that anymore. I do the bare minimum. Like, I do my little presentation, I send an email, and I really don't chase clients. I don't chase men. I don't chase anybody really. It's like I just went deeper into myself and understanding, like, okay, I've been doing this for years. And when everybody told me that my business was too black, it was too ethnic, it was too this, it was too that, I need to be more diverse, I need to do this. I just was like, okay, I hear what you're saying. And I just went deeper into what I was doing. I went deeper into creating my own brand. Right? Like, no, I'm doing what I want to do. This is who I am. This is my brand. My brand has a personality. My brand has an experience. My brand has a culture. And so I'm not trying to be diverse. I'm not trying to cater to everyone. I'm not Walmart. I'm a boutique experience. And so I just ignored what everybody said and I just did what I want to do. And the number one thing when people call me and they want to book services, the number one thing they tell me is that, "Oh, I chose you because your story resonated with me. I chose you because I read your story about your great grandmother, about your grandma, and I read this, and I read your blog, and I saw your video, and I da 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 da." Like, me being myself, just fully, just going deeper and deeper into being myself, is what attracts people to me. I'm not, I don't have to put on, or I don't really have to try or any of that. That is what has helped. And then that's when I started getting people who have cash and they're like, they want to pay right away. They want to get started with the services. They don't need, a discount. I don't, I don't really do that. They're ready to get started. They're ready to pay cash. And so these clients who are wealthier, Um, you know, a lot of them have other friends who are wealthier. Like I've had clients who have been millionaires, and they know people. And then starting to network with the sort of adjacent service providers and professionals and licensed professionals who are in similar industries as me. That has helped a ton because now the referrals that I get from wealthier people, they know wealthier people who can also pay. I get, you know, low income people every so often. Sure. I get those in maybe like, maybe 20% or something of my inquiries are low income. But honestly, I get a healthy number, a steady number of qualified referrals that are ready to book services and they have the money to pay, you know? So that has helped a ton. And I am able to be friendly with my clientele, after they finish the services as far as keeping in touch and networking and whatnot. Um, Another thing that helped me was I didn't pledge in a sorority, but the sororities have service projects. Like each sorority kind of has like they have sort of like a service focus. And so there are sororities in my area that are adjacent to what I do. And I've ended up getting opportunities and referrals through that network. Or sometimes they'll overlap. I know the owner of my child's old school, and then they recommend me to speak on a panel. And then before you know it, I have inquiries of people trying to either work with my company or use my services. So just going deep into that, deep into myself and being unapologetic in my brand and who I am. And then there's an aspect of my own personality in my brand. And so that has helped a ton. It has helped a ton. So just being yourself and like going, and it just all works together. It really, really does. Because in terms of dating, when you're resting in your femininity or you're just going deeper into yourself and in your own womanhood, and you end up attracting higher quality men, it really does translate to attracting quality friends and attracting quality business opportunities and networking opportunities as well. It really does work. And I'm just reflecting back, and I think that, giving up the pro black thing really did help. It really did help because even when I was networking in some of the groups and I was like pro black, it was kind of blocking me from taking advantage of all the opportunities ahead of, that I had available to me. I think just politics in general, when you have strict politics, like even like left it leaning or whatever politics, it can really block you from networking from different opportunities because now I have an attitude of getting business done and I really don't care what people's politics. I really don't give a like me, you can be racist. I really don't care. I just think about I'm more mission oriented and I think about what can I get done right now? What can I get done? What's going to help and benefit me and my own family? Or what's going to benefit me and my business? What's going to benefit me right now? And then that will give me the ability to interface in a variety of different settings without the politics getting in the way of you getting what you have to get done, because the world is not fair. Like, is it even fair that I'm cute? Do I have some type of advantage because I'm pretty? Maybe. Like, the world is not fair. But don't let the world's unfairness stop you from getting what you need to do and use whatever. Um, do you have a corporate job and a biz? No, I just do my business full time. I do my business full time. And what is roster dating? Roster dating is when you date a variety of men at the same time. So you don't just date one guy and commit to him and then, because he'll be dating other people too. And then you date, singular dating is when you date one guy at a time, which a lot of women waste a lot of time doing that. Roster dating is when you date multiple men at the same time. You have conversations going and you go out on different dates on different nights with different guys at the same time. That is roster dating. Bum, 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 bum. So yeah, being yourself, um, letting go of the pro blackness, because I mean, this is the Afrocentric woman. I'm pro black woman at this point. And, I had to learn that being pro black woman and being pro black community is not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So I had to disconnect from being pro black community. There were a lot of things I was seeing though when I was doing it. There was a lot of things that I was seeing it definitely was not adding up, and I've talked about it in other videos where you just have to realize that, or rather I realized that a lot of the things that I thought we were working on as a collective really was just black women doing it. They were really just doing everything themselves. And black women can be pro black family oftentimes, but you don't really see that same energy coming from the other side. So here we are, needing to do what is right for black women. We have to prioritize ourselves. And I had to prioritize myself and I had to prioritize other black women. I've seen so many iterations of abuse. I really have. And I've experienced my own fair share of it. And so you just get to that point where you just have to open it up. It's either open it up or be alone. But it's better to be alone than with an abusive partner, you know? You're better off just being by yourself until you figure it out. Some black women are gonna wait for unicorn black men. That's their prerogative. I'm not gonna shame you for doing that. Not over here, not on this channel. You wanna wait for the unicorn good black man, you are more than welcome to do that. But I wasn't about to do that. I'm not. In fact, I'm currently not doing that. Nope. Best man for the job. But anyway, that's how you attract wealthy friends. Putting yourself out there, and I think attracting, like, changing your own mindset about things. And I think feeling good with money helps. I think I've talked about that in other videos. I set the intention last year, I think. I don't know if it was 2020 or if it was 2019, but I set an intention to feel good with money because I realized I'm not going to be able to reach any of my monetary goals if I have a negative feeling about money and even about paying bills. Like now, I'm happy to pay bills. When I get bills, I'm like, yay, I get to pay my bills. Yay, I have enough for my electricity bill. Yay, I have enough. Yay, I'm going to pay this. Yay, I'm so grateful that I have health insurance. Let me pay that. I'm in a good position. Like, how many people don't have health insurance? I have it. So let me pay this bill gleefully. I have a safe place to live with a roof over my head. Yay, let me pay my rent gleefully. Yay, I have a car. Let me pay my car insurance so I can be protected. Woohoo! And so I don't lament spending money. And when I found that I let go of that negative connotation towards spending money, more money started to come in. You know what I'm saying? More money started to come in. I don't stress about bills. People who complain about bills, I don't chime into that conversation like, oh, these damn bills, or I'm drowning in bills, or, da 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 da. I don't connect with that because I have no interest in being energetically bogged down by bills. Money coming in, money going out. what I realized about money is that money is like energy and it can either be clogged up or it can be free flowing. You can have money in abundance coming to you. And so the money that was flowing to various different vendors, I consider like my services as vendors. If I'm a business, these are vendors that I'm paying for services. I think to myself, well, let me just take care of the vendors. Let me take about my personal life as well. Because honestly, it's like I'm a vendor. My business is a vendor. So do I want people to lament about paying me or do I want them to pay me gleefully? So it's kind of that same energy that you have to match. Or at least energy that I started matching. Like I pay the service people, the service companies, electricity, internet, everything in this and that. I just pay it, and I don't have stress about it. And the great thing about it is like paying once you pay it happily, 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 I found that I started having more money left over at the end of the month. And I wasn't like going down to zero. You know what I mean? Like I still have money left over. I could do something with it. I can travel. I could invest the money or just put it in my savings, like wow, my emergency savings is growing, right? It's growing. Another thing about attracting wealthier friends is feeling happy for people. And I'm just one of those people, and it's always genuine. A lot of my friends are business owners, a lot of them are career people. And I just, at this point, I don't have any envy in me. When my friends win, I win. I feel like when my family wins, I win. I feel richer when my network enriches itself. So they get a new house, they get a better job, they hit a lick with a stock or with an investment that pays off. They marry a wealthy man or whatever. I don't think, okay, so let's say one of my friends gets engaged to a wealthy man, like super wealthy. This is how my mind works. I think to myself, he has wealthy friends. And more than likely, I'm going to get invited to a cocktail party. I'm going to get invited to the boat. I'm going to get invited somewhere and I'm going to meet his friends. That's how I see it. I don't feel no way jealous or envy that she got a wealthy man. I feel happy for her, genuinely happy for her, because what is the point of all of this? What is the point of this freaking channel? Do you think that I want you ladies to stay stagnated where you are? I don't. That's not the point of the channel. The channel is called Afrocentric Woman Level Up. Obviously, my desire for you to level up. so, I have the same desire for my friends in real life. I want them to level up as well. My family, I want them to level up. So I don't feel jealousy or envy when women or friends get wealth because I'm genuinely happy for them first and foremost. And then secondly, see where I can fit into things. I see how their come up can spill over to enrich my life. And my come ups definitely spill over to enrich my friends and family's lives. So, um, being happy for people and feeling gratitude for the things that you do have attracts more. It attracts people that want to do stuff for you. I was just thinking about this the other day, like just the way I carry myself, people want to do things for me, not just men. People want to do things for me. They're drawn into me for whatever reason, and they want to do things for me. Even with this last trip, like I Ubered there and I Ubered back, and I didn't do that. Like this time, my family member took me to the airport and picked me back up, you know, took me on checkpoint, escorted me to the security checkpoint. Like I was grateful for that. Like, who gets that kind of love and appreciation? You not only picked me up from my house, loaded my suitcase, took me to the airport, and escorted me all the way to the security checkpoint. These are things that I don't um, take for granted. There's small details in life, but I find that being grateful for people's kindness attracts more people that want to do kind things for you. That's been my experience. I mean, you can definitely let me know, what your experience has been um, with, people doing kind things. Um, because I know when you're social climbing, there can like definitely be a lot of anxiety when you don't have as much as other people have, and um they went to a better school than you went to a state school, they went to a private school, or you live on the south side of town and they live on the north suburbs where it's nicer, and those kinds of things. But I found that having a confidence about yourself and your own intrinsic values really goes a long way. And to be honest, when you love yourself and you feel that confidence about yourself, it really does set you apart. Some people are shallow as ponds and they really are caught up in the labels. I like labels, but I'm not a label. You understand? I like labels, but I'm not caught up in the labels. I don't need Gucci to validate who I am as a human. Okay. I don't need Chanel to feel important. I feel important in knockoff brands, and I will rock a knockoff dress better than you would ever. You know what I'm saying? Like just a no brand dress, and I will wear it like it costs $1 million. Okay, I will wear that Nordstrom Rack clearance dress like it cost $1 million, and you couldn't tell me it didn't. So I don't need Chanel to feel important or to feel special or to feel beautiful. And I think that when you interface with people and they're used to that and you don't need that, it really does set you apart. When there's something to you, there's something more. You don't need anything to external to validate you. When you validate from the inside, you draw people in, including wealthy people, including them. Being kind helps. I always try to look for a genuine compliment. I'm not the best liar to people that I don't really know. So I don't I don't compliment on things that I don't really believe. So I find something that I like about people and I will give them a compliment. Like, "Oh, you look sharp today," or "I like those glasses," or "Wow, your makeup looks beautiful." Whatever. Just giving a compliment that's genuine, and asking people about themselves draws them into you. It really does. It goes a long way. Being kind and knowing what value you bring to any situation, because no matter how wealthy someone is, there's always something that they're missing that you have, something of value about, or something that's missing, or some element that is something that you have. And then that means you belong. And then that means that these people will want you to be around because you're kind and you're pleasant and you're confident and you're alluring. And before you know it, you're getting invitations, and people want to be around you because you are in the frequency of wealth, even if the wealth is on yet still on the way, but you're on the frequency of it. When you're curious and you ask people questions about their profession. How did you get there? What would you suggest for this, or what would you suggest for that? And then actually, act on something and come back and like, hey, I took your advice on this or that, and look, this is my result. And that too will set you apart because you're not just about, bumping your gums, but you actually are in the mode of self improvement, and you can take information, apply it to your life, and see the results. Kiki, I think you might be a troll, my dear, because your questions are increasingly more crazy, and they have absolutely nothing to do with this stream. And the other questions that you ask have nothing to do with the stream. So I'm just going to assume you're a troll and commence to ignoring you. All right. Does anybody have any legit questions or comments that are actually related to this stream about attracting wealthy men? Wealthy friends, rather? um, Let me know. These just thoughts that came to my mind about growing your network, joining social groups, and networking, and not feeling not feeling like you're out of place or that you don't belong, but that you do belong, and understanding that there is a way that you can still kind of attract wealthier people that's going to help you, in your own household. When you start to grow and expand your network, and it's going to help you fit in, and just kind of, just plug right in, when you do get into a relationship with a wealthier man. Let's see. Supportive friends with high self-esteem are a priceless commodity. Yes, indeed. Sometimes being around wealthier people can make me feel self-conscious, so thanks for this talk. You are so welcome, Josie. I am tapping into my spiritual side, and so sometimes I feel like I get these downloads, and it's like, share about this, talk about that. And so I'm being obedient to spirit and sharing what is on my heart to share. So yeah, that was what was on my heart to share. So important. Yeah, that self-confidence piece. So maybe we can check in with one another after a while. Maybe we could implement some shifts to feel more confident, being around wealthier people, and networking with wealthier social classes. And then we could touch base again and just see kind of like where everybody is and how's it going and all that jazz. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Of course, I appreciate you. Please do like this stream, subscribe, and share. Peace.